Okay, welcome to another episode of Charts on Demand, brought to you by TradeSnyper. So today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, VeChain, GameStop, XRP, Ethereum, gold, and a couple other random stocks and cryptos. So right now we're taking a look at Bitcoin. We've been following this like a hawk on this channel as there's just been explosive movement and absolute just insanity. I mean, this is just the most craziest run and downswing I've literally ever seen in my life. So let's get into it. But first, if you are interested in crypto, daily content, talking about Dogecoin, XRP, pretty much everything when it comes to crypto. What's skyrocketing, what's falling, pretty much literally everything. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok. It's TradeSnyper. I have about 7956 right now. I'm trying to get to 10K. So definitely just give me a follow and check my content out. Also, if you're trying to get access to the TradeSnyper indicator, it actually is flipping blue when it's time to sell and green when it's time to buy. The indicator's been a gem in this market. We're going to get into that with other stocks and cryptos later, but right now we're just going to take a look at Bitcoin and just try to make sense of this crazy market. So if you're trying to get access to the Trade Sniper, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/TradeSniper and or just go to patreon.com and just search for Trade Sniper and you'll find me right here. So this will give you full access to this Trade Sniper indicator. It'll pop right onto your trading view screen and you'll be good. So like I said, we've been using it to call this market. I have a video that I called the Bitcoin top at, I think we called it around 60K, and that video is one of these here. I think it was this one, and yeah, so that's good. So we're gonna go ahead and get into Bitcoin now. So right now we're on the let's go right to the daily. Right now on the daily, as you can see, it just got completely cracked completely cracked. And the Trade Sniper, once it flipped blue here, it actually flipped blue on May 3rd. So you could have gone out of this market on May 3rd, and you could literally have said, okay, look, Trade Sniper, it's blue on the daily. It's when it flips these colors on the higher time frames, that indicates a major shift, and that's why I said this rally is pretty much toast. So so again, it did sell, and then it bumped back up. But you know what we call those? That we call those the bull trap. It was a trap. People thought it was going to go back up, and then it hit right here, got rejected, and then bam. So this is, I believe, right when we called the end of it, right around 58K on my TikTok channel. And as you can see, if you had tuned in and paid attention and used the indicator, the Trade Sniper indicator, you would have saved yourself a full blown. Let's do the math. Yeah, 50%. It's pretty scary. I mean, right now it's probably about it's really only 35% since there's been a bit of a rally, so it's not too bad. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are holding Bitcoin right now are kind of stuck with a tough decision because is it going to go back up or is it going to go down? As you can see, the daily there's been parabolic stars above the channel, uh, above the candle for a long time, and right now it looks like if it's going to get going a little bit of a run, then if it does break this channel, it could start going back up, and especially if Trace Number flips hyper green. Now, as you can see here in the last pumps, it was green, and then the day it flipped hyper green was we got a pretty major pump. Now that pump ended up not being significant, and it ended up just going to 60K, getting rejected, and falling hard. So this is my main concern about it. Like is trying to make an entry that will be good in the long run. I mean, nobody wants to buy it and then have it go up, 10, 15%, and then have it drop 30% or 40% on their face. So it's a tough time to buy. When we break it down with the lower time frames, we're seeing that Bitcoin is stuck in this channel here. Um, and as you can see, as we indicated on this with the red box, this would have been a beautiful time to sell Bitcoin right here, right at 59,000, right when it started flipping red on you, and then hyper red. The hyper red is the scary part. So right now, we're looking at the trade sniper, and we know that it's blue, and that usually indicates the end of a rally. As you can see here, it was a tricky play, because it did go. Usually, the process is it goes hyper green, it pumps, it'll go flip blue. I'm gonna just, if you pay attention right here, let me get some arrows going here. So it makes it a lot easier to follow. Okay, so like if you're looking right here, so it's blue, but look, I mean the candle's still green, so it's like, okay, is it gonna go up? Like this is gonna call the momentum shift here, and then the next candle is this, and look at the drop, right? So this could have been a sell as it flipped on you, okay, and then again it was very tricky because it flipped from blue to green. Usually it goes from blue and then it'll go red. But again, you got to follow this market. I mean, if you look at the structure of this, you could see. I mean, you have to do your homework. You can't just go in blind. You know, the indicator will give you a generally great idea on where it's going to go, but you also have to pay attention to what's going on. I mean, if you were to you know long it here, well, just because it was green blindly, well, you also got to think it also pumped. So you gotta pay attention, be careful with this market, and you could also note that this looked like some sort of a median uh, of this channel right here. So it's like a triangle. It broke out, and then it got rejected by this major resistance up here. Uh, so it's just looking bad. I wouldn't be surprised if this it could go either way. I mean, right now we're gonna leave this box up, and we're gonna see what happens. If it goes and breaks down through here, I mean this is flimsy. This could go right through it, and fall down to price ranges around here. You're looking at 31,000 again if it doesn't reverse. Um, Okay, and right now it is, the price is, 38K. So it's just like I said, it puts people in a really, really, really tough spot. Um, and that's why I just say, you know what, it's like it's better to be safe than sorry. And especially when you're dealing with cryptos, and especially after it pumped this much. I mean, it's just so obvious. I mean, that eventually this pumping was going to stop, and this was going to happen. And I think there needs to be more of a wash in the market. I think this is probably a bull trap. We'll look back on this, um, and laugh one day and say, okay, well, it got rejected right here, and then it went down for some more downside. As we look at some of the lower time frames, you can get a little bit better of a scope of what's going on. You can see the parabolic stars have been supporting the candles on the 3 hour chart, and that's this would pretty much spark this little mini rally. But as you can see, the mini rally isn't even really. I mean, yeah, it was a nice rally, 20%. That's great. So what this tells me is people who wanted to exit here now have the chance to exit at 20% higher. What do you think they're going to do? Most of the time, they're gonna dump it here, and either take profit on that 20% trade, or preserve maybe as a break even point. You have to realize if the price point is 38.7, and we go back in time for a second, and let's go to the daily. We take the price point. So right now, if this price point, so anybody who bought Bitcoin on this day is now breaking even. If you bought this, you're broke. You're back to break even. Okay, and let's see what date that is. That was February 7th. February 7th. It's May. So right now, people who bought here, and then also you got to think too. Anybody who bought here still in profit. But if you bought here at 30K back then and rode it all the way up, and you didn't sell at 65K or whatever, then you have a tough decision too here. You say, "Oh, I'm up 20% on my investment, which is great," and dump it. If you did that, then you're pretty smart. People who got in down here, 20K, okay, yeah, you're in big profit. Do you preserve your profit and dump it up here? I think a lot of people are going to have to make that decision. Um, and that's why this is such a tough call right now. Uh, with no momentum sparking these rallies, I mean, it's just there's a lot of anger and hatred and this, if you go back to my original videos, some of the ones I was talking about earlier, that's when am starting to look at. I honestly have not really been like gotten this excited about a drop like in my entire life, just for the simple fact that once people start to hate Bitcoin on big time, it's going to drop and it's going to give everybody on the planet a chance to accumulate. And that is the best gift ever. I think that's the best gift ever. So we're following this market very, very closely. If we look at the weekly chart, we could clean some of this up. If we look at the weekly chart, I mean, it's just, of course, it's just a catastrophe. The weekly chart got you out in January, literally, and then back in February for the last final pump, and then the weekly TradeSnyper got you the heck out in March, in March, because it hit 60K. Okay, it went up to 65K. Whoopity do. I mean, I would have played it right here when this flip left. I would have played this first flip here, and that would have been that. And then once you get a parabolic star above the candle, these are crossing and it flips red. What do you think's gonna happen? Like, come on. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? It's literally happened every single solitary time in Bitcoin history. All right, and it's flipped red. But guess what? The good news is, man, this is a long rant on Bitcoin. Good. So whatever. So the good news is, once it flips red, I mean, it could continue to be red for a long time, and just gut the market down real slow, or it could go from red and flip to green and hyper green and start a completely new bull market. So this is what we're waiting on. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. Um, I mean, and this is on the weekly chart. Now, here's the bad news for Bitcoin. So the good news is there. It's going to give us all a good buying opportunity. And those who sold at the top for 60K, if they rebought down here at 20K, well, guess how much more Bitcoin you just made by selling the tops? Like so. Um, so that's good. And again, I'm not picking on people who didn't sell the top hodlers. It's honestly those guys are the millionaires of the future. The ones who never ever ever sell. They have diamond hands and they hodl and they never sell it because Bitcoin could also turn up at any moment while you're asleep and pump, and not and you miss the opportunity to get in. And the hodlers are the ones who capture that main profit. For instance, like if you had bought Bitcoin here at 7,000 or 5,000 and never touched it, and you've rolled it all the way through the entire crash and still just never touched it, you're a genius. So that's just the easiest way to trade it. It's the best thing to do. So right now we're gonna get we're gonna look at one more thing, and then I'm off Bitcoin. This is just the most epic Bitcoin rant ever. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to rant more on Bitcoin, if you want me to keep these videos shorter, or if you guys like the information, because it's important. But this I want to tell you is very important. So I appreciate people who are still watching to stay for the duration of this video, because we're gonna get into some good stuff. Here's the monthly chart. Now, if you see a couple things. This doesn't even have it on it because it's a perps. But if we're gonna try to find a chart, and here we go. So this is the Bitcoin chart, and if you look closely, my monthly is blue, and I called this literally weeks and weeks and weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago. This flipped blue. Now, what happened last time this flipped blue on Bitcoin? Well, let's take a look. So right now, you see right here, the last time that it flipped blue was actually 2019, of August 2019. And what happened with Bitcoin was an absolute atrocity. And then COVID, and then the best flipping buying opportunity ever. I think this would have been the best buying opportunity ever. Now, what what uh what the best thing that can happen right now is for this to come down off its pedestal here. It's already fallen to 28 ish, 29, and got support. Um, the the good news is the stars haven't switched. So I mean, once you get the star above the candle here and here, it's a literal it's a death wish. It's a death wish once that star is above on the monthly. So that's the good news. So to me, once that star is up above the candle on a monthly, that is the indicator of a pretty bearish market. As you can see right here, that didn't really happen, but we did hit that major drop. That was, I think, a 60% drop, from 10K to 4K. Yeah, so that was just, I mean, that was a COVID drop, and that's just strange. And it's just fun. It's just so strange that right after the COVID drop, just this gigantic 9-10 month freaking bull run, which is absolutely nuts. So as you can see, I mean, look, these candles are every. Let's look back in history here. Every single time we have these huge Bitcoin run-ups. Here, look, it looks exactly the same. So here it started, right, 500 bucks. You know, I mean, imagine getting in at 500 bucks, April 17th, 2017. Imagine that. 500 bucks shoots all the way up to 2 grand. And then you just get these bearish wash candles. I mean, these bearish engulfing candles. And that dropped it from 2 grand all the way down to wait, the 20 grand. Sorry, I'm not even paying attention. So yeah, so up to 20 grand. So this is the 2017. So yeah, 500 bucks. Kitty got in right here and wrote it all up to 2 freaking grand. I forgot this was the monthly 2 grand. And then when all it falls, this was the bear market of 2017. Bam, 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 just a catastrophe. And then finally, it found a bottom at 3,500. Right. So and as you can see, like clearly, like then Sniper flipped green, and this is the best buying opportunity in Bitcoin ever. So imagine that. Imagine just having that back then and knowing. And then as you can see, it flipped hyper green, a huge pump back down. You see the blue temporary again, another wash, another just couple months of just lows, lower low, lower low, and then they picked up, then a big drop, and then this. So what do you think is going to happen? So here's our first red candle on the monthly. Here's one. So what about the next one? The next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. That's what you have to think. You have to prepare for this. Well, what's your goal? You're gonna try to swing trade and go from coin to coin. Are you gonna try to short it? Are you gonna try to long it? And for 10 years from now, well, if you're gonna try to long it for 10 years, then you might want to get at the best point. You might want to get at the lowest point. So maybe waiting is the move, right? So it's just nuts. It's just nuts. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. So we're gonna just quickly check out some of the lower time frames here. As you can see on the 15-minute, I mean, this is just epic, but it just keeps getting rejected. When I see this kind of peeling over here, and it's probably about to flip blue and fall back down, and it's just gonna keep going. So that's my epic rant on Bitcoin. We're gonna get to some other coins now. So VeChain. We got VET. Everyone's talking about VeChain. It looks pretty sick. I mean, it looks just crazy. I haven't really done any thing on it, but we're gonna take a look. So if you look at like let's go look at the weekly. Oh my god, look at the weekly. So this is here. This is like my point. I just want to prove a point. Um, do you see what I literally was just talking about? Bitcoin, the one red, and then the other red. This happened to VeChain. This just happened. So wow. So that see, this is why I love going through these charts. So what we're gonna do, right quick, is we're gonna put this right next to our friend Bitcoin on the monthly, and wow, wow. So we can almost assume that, and as you can see, both snipers blue, and then as you can see, the second leg down after it flipped blue was the gut wrenching one, and it dropped VeChain from 14 cents to about wow to about 5 cents. Jesus. So if this replicates itself, it's going to be real bad. Wow, VeChain's up 15% today. Yeah, people are just going nuts. I mean, they just don't care. Um, they don't care. So fine. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, VeChain, it's still. Not, I mean, it's just very risky. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, the daily's pumping a little bit. I mean, that looks nice. But let's go full screen with it. But yeah, I just want to point that out. We'll go full screen, and yeah. So this is VeChain. So VeChain on the daily. Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty nice. We're looking at looks like some sort of where did I? It looks like maybe this was the wedge, something like this. These wedges, I'm noticing these everywhere. Look at it. Look at that. So and I talk about this in other videos too. If you want to go back and look, when there. So if you put the wedge in between where the break of the SARs are, and then right here on the top where the body is to the body, when I see these wedges heading upwards, what pointing up, it usually goes down. It falls down. Um, and usually when I see them going downwards, it'll fall up. So strange. So yeah, just looking at the 4 hour. Um, I mean, they've already pumped 15%. Probably not a good time to get in. Looks like some sort of maybe we got some sort of a channel forming here. Yep, definitely. So it probably looks like it's gonna go sideways for a little bit, and then if Bitcoin decides to fall, then it will probably just wash this 15% profit with it, and that'll be that. So that's VeChain. We're gonna check out GameStop. GameStop went on a big run as they are adopting NFTs, and they're getting involved with NFTs, which is great. For those of you who don't know what NFT is, it's a non-fungible token. It's pretty much the digital art that you could definitely check out. So we're gonna just take a look at GameStop here on the 4 hour. As you can see, it's been in this triangle, and it's actually ended up rallying out of it and just going absolutely nuts. Yesterday we covered it, and we see here it went 47% from that low there, and then looks up 66%, which is cool. But the question we have is, how long can this last, and before it drops off a cliff and falls back down. And as you can see here, the 2 hour on GameStop is blue. The last time it flipped blue, it did drop a little bit, but then it got picked up and pumped. So we'll see as it got pumped out of this channel. We'll see. We're gonna follow that and see if this blue on the 2 hour is significant, and if GameStop has a pullback. All right, XRP. This video's already gone way long, way too long. So on the 4 hour XRP, it's looking very scary. As you can see, the time to start really the movements to start really paying attention to the movements is when these SARs and the TradeSnyper are lighting up. So right now it's blue, indicating the end of a potential end of the rally. But as you can see, it did break up out of this triangle. We've had this drawn for a while, so it broke up out of this triangle here and bounced, and now it's bouncing off this triangle. So we could see maybe a little pump, and then maybe a rejection here, and then have it fall more, or it could just collapse right through it. I mean, it's just very scary. With XRP, I know. I mean, I've heard it's psychologically for $1. I mean, people are like, oh, it's only $1. I'm just going to buy it. But the whole thing is, why buy it now, or you have a chance to maybe get it at 50 cents or something like that. As you can see, the parabolic star is above the candle on the second. The second candle here, the TradeSnyper is blue, and what do we know about when you look at the higher time frames? I was talked about it. The second candle usually punctures below, could puncture below it, and so far this one hasn't. And there's also 4 or 5 days left in this month, so you never know. We don't know if this is going to collapse or not. It's just so risky. I mean, I just see this is such a risky uh, such a risky move. I'm trying to get this channel that it's in, but there's just too many drawings on here. Um, so that's pretty much where we're at with XRP. I would expect if this flips to red or blue and starts trending downwards, I would expect maybe a little bit of a sell-off. But as you can see here, it's starting to get a little support on this triangle here, and maybe it could start to pump. But it all depends on what Bitcoin does. So right now, okay, XRP, Ethereum, pretty much the same thing. ETH was in this channel here. Looks like it still could be as we go and take a closer look at it. We had here that ETH was going to. What did we have here? Yeah, that it was going to go sideways, fall, and then end up at 2 grand. And it already did that prematurely. Bam, it fell on here, and now we're waiting for another fall back to 2 grand. If it does not get any support and it gets rejected, and this just looks bad, which it is looking bad. If you look at the 3 hour, it might not get through this. It might if it pumps up here. If it could break through up through out of this channel, then that could be very interesting. You have some stars underneath the candle. Sniper is green, so this could have been a little scalp right here. But like I said, it's tough because there's this descending. There's this constant sell pressure at when it hits this channel top here. So you just have to be careful and just pay attention to that as well. So as we just keep going down to lower time frames, we get a little bit more information on what is happening with the candles. And as you can see here, the 30-minute is already starting to bend, indicating some more resistance here. The 15 minutes flip blue, and it's starting to fall. So we'll see what's going to happen with the market here. It's one, two, it's three taps at it trying to break it, and it just hasn't gotten any steam at all, at all. So that just looks bad. It's a type of red on the 5-minute, and it looks like it's just going to tank, but we'll see. So we're gonna we already looked at that. We're gonna take a look at gold real quick, and we're gonna wrap it up. Epic video. Gold is, if we look at gold on the weekly, could have played this like a freaking read this like a book. Um, as far as it falling from 2071. Um, TradeSnyper flip blue on the weekly right here at about 2020, and then you could have wrote it all the way down until it flipped green, and these lines cross right here. Probably a nice entry could have been back here, 17, wrote it back up to 18 to 1900, and I think gold. There's a good chance gold could get rejected here and plummet, especially if ooh, especially if Bitcoin starts going back up. So we notice gold when we look at it on the weekly, dating back to 2014. Gold was in this ascending triangle, and it just fell all the way down. This was in 2015. It fell all the way down to $1,000, and it just been it was weekly was just following this perfectly. It fell out of it, which looks like it was going to tank, and then they picked it up and then put it and then rallied the shite out of it. Right here, the best time to buy it would have been again, once TradeSnyper flips red to green on the weekly here, would have been a really good time to buy it. So now it's just absolutely insane. If you look at the monthly, we're gonna drop all the drawings real quick, and as you can see, the monthly, the last time it was red and it peeled green here, it did get a rally, got rejected, and then plummeted. I mean, I'm talking a big time drop. I mean, that's 1700 all the way down to 1100. That's a huge drop. That was December of 2012, and that was a big monthly drop. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 months of just cracking the market. And this is why I think that gold is in trouble, because the parabolic star on the monthly is above the candle. And as you can see here, I mean, this fell below. You know what I mean? If it fell below, it's a bull trap. It's going to get rejected just like this potentially. It's almost on the same exact price point from when it was back then. And then if it doesn't, I mean, now if it breaks this point here, it could shoot up. It could, but it has to break it first, and I'm not confident in that. I don't think there's that much fuel. So as you can see here, it hasn't come near this top here, 2000. So that's gold. I don't know if I'm boring people with gold. Just picking some random stuff here. What's going down? Coinbase. The this is the well, this is when they just dropped it. They just released it in April. There's just no information. Um, it looks like it's about to be ready to possibly be in the buy zone. As you can see here, it's 360. It dropped at the price, and now it's about 40% off. So if you bought it the day it dropped, you're down 40%. GG. But I think as we break it down, I haven't even looked at this chart that much. It's starting to get some information. And as you can see here, it looks like it's in this little, yeah, right here. It's in this little channel. And the good news is for Coinbase, if it breaks up out of this channel, it could go for some upside. But as you can see here, we're getting a little bit of information. Um, Again, this is a brand new coin. This is a brand well, it's on the stock market. It's not a coin. So it's this coin base. So there's a little bit of information. So as we can see here, look, you have the TradeSniper peeling from hyper green to blue, and Coinbase could have been a sell right here at 305, and you would have noted that it went from green to blue and got out right here, and that would have saved you a whopping 30%. That's a lot of that's a big boy drop. So then now it's got picked up, and you could have got right back in right here on this day as it flipped red to green. On the 20th, you could have gotten right back in right here ish and rode it all the way up to here. That's 12%. So you would have saved 20% drop and made 10% plus on it. If you did that now, I would have probably get the hell out because yep, 3 hours blew and it's already starting to fall. So if this doesn't get picked up soon, Coinbase is in for some trouble probably tomorrow. And we're gonna leave this here and revisit it. If it doesn't get picked up soon, could have another 30% drop. Then I would probably say that's in the buy zone. You want to look for the buy zone as about 50% drop from where it started, and that's going to put you at 180. So I know if you're watching this and you're looking for a potential, again, not financial advice, but you know if you're trying to get in, I would try to get in right after you see after you see this. If it drops and it does fall, I would get in right around here ish. And we will leave this here to revisit for next video. Definitely stay tuned. Follow me on TikTok. It's TradeSnyper. If you want to get access to the TradeSnyper indicator, just go right here to Patreon/TradeSnyper, patreon.com/TradeSnyper, and or search for me on Patreon TradeSnyper, and I will give you access. We're gonna take one last quick look at Bitcoin. As you can see, yeah, it's the 15 minutes blue, and it's has lost its steam. So please follow me on YouTube as well, and we will be checking back in the market tomorrow. And thank you all for the support. And that's it. TradeSnyper out.